So many of you have just had a week off of school, or in some way your life has been impacted and you're staying home much more than you normally would. You may know that I'm a math teacher this year. It's my first year as a math teacher, and I have been in touch with many of our students. We're supposed to be teaching them from home. I'm hearing from about 10 to 12 of 75 students, so we're off to a little bit of a slow start. But the ones I'm talking to, guess what they're saying? They tell me they wish they were back in school. And a couple of these young ones are ones that have had no problem telling me every day that they wish they weren't there or that they're bored. And so it's come of a bit of surprise. I've asked them, other than, of course, their math work, what are they doing to occupy their time? And all of them say they're watching Netflix. So you can only watch so much Netflix. So I was trying to think of a relevant Bible story I could share with you. And today I was on a walk with my mom and Andy, and she asked me what was going to be the Bible story. And I told her, well, about Elijah being fed by the ravens. And my thinking was because he was isolated away from people, and he must have had some of the same feelings, although he was praying to God, I imagine a lot of that time, but he still was without human companionship. And even though we have families with us, but we're just out of our routine. We're not seeing our friends as much as we would, or we are maybe feeling a little bit isolated. Well, guess what? Mom told me that, this is probably going to show it backwards, but that the devotion in this, Our Daily Bread today, was about Elijah. Can you believe that? So let me read this to you. It says, it's titled Chirpy. For 12 years, Chirpy, a seagull, has made daily visits to a man who'd helped him heal from a broken leg. John wooed Chirpy to himself with dog biscuits and was then able to nurse him back to health. Though Chirpy only resides in Isto Beach in Devon, England, between September and March, he and John Sumner find each other easily. Chirpy flies straight to him when he arrives at the beach each day. Though he doesn't approach any other human, it's an uncommon relationship for sure. John and Chirpy's bond reminds me of another uncommon relationship between man and bird. When Elijah, one of God's prophets, was sent into the wilderness to hide in the Kerith ravine during a time of drought, God said he was to drink from the brook and he'd send ravens to supply him with food. Despite the difficult circumstances and surroundings, Elijah would have his needs for food and water met. Ravens were unlikely caterers, naturally feeding on unseemly meals themselves, yet they brought Elijah wholesome food. It may not surprise us that a man would help a bird, but when birds provide for a man with bread and meat in the morning and bread and meat in the evening, it can only be explained by God's power and care. Like Elijah, we too can trust in his provision for us. Here's a brief cartoon for you to watch about this Bible story.